Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back. Today I'm having an Uber's battle instead of OU, because I do OU so much and people always complain that it's always the same thing, that it's repetitive. And well, they don't complain on my channel, but it's just what they say. But they say it's repetitive, and I can't really disagree, because I try not to use the same old Pokemon. I try to use Wifi, some people that they really never see in OU, but I can't help but face those really hard teams that are so OU that it's horrible. So I'm actually doing an Uber's battle today. I wanted to use these sets for a long time. The Rayquaza and Groudon, and I have Galvantula, Mega Altaria, and Whimsicott. I'm using Galvantula because of the sticky webs. Sticky webs is greatly appreciated because it slows down all those fast speed demons. I'm using Whimsicott just in case someone tries to set up on me. I can just encore. And Mega Altaria because there are so many dragon types in this tier that I just felt that it'd be great. So let's go ahead and get right into the battle. So leading off, I already know that Galvantula is going to lead. I don't see any fake out users, anybody that can magic bounce these sticky webs, or any rapid spinners or defoggers. So these sticky webs to slow down the opponent's team would be really, really great. And I'm definitely changing that after I get out of this battle. I'm definitely changing that to compound eyes. I'm missing Thunder. So this Groudon is going to Primal Reverse, go back to Primal Groudon, and he's just going to set up his Desolate Land. The fields are burning, everything is just super hot. My Galvantula doesn't like that. He's a bug type, he doesn't like the heat. So he's going to go ahead and set up his sticky webs, and this team is just going to be slowed down, as he's going to go for a Fire Punch. No Galvantula can take a Fire Punch from a Mega Groudon. I mean, not a Mega Groudon, a Primal Groudon. So it's going to be knocked down to his sash. And I really didn't want to switch out. Nobody can switch out on this monster, so I'm just going to go for a Bug Buzz to get some chip damage on this thing. And that does a pretty decent amount for such a resisted attack. And he's going to go for another Fire Punch and knock out my Galvantula. I don't mind. Galvantula did his job, set up his sticky webs. And so now I'm going to go out into my Landorus. I wanted to predict his Charizard coming in, because this thing is intimidating and it can die to an Earthquake because I am physical. I mean, I'm offensive, but I just wanted to straight go for an Earthquake. I didn't want to fool around with that monster of a Pokemon, that Groudon. I knew he had a Charizard. Why? Because we did have a battle before, but my Primal Groudon pretty much tore through his team, and it wasn't that interesting. So he's gonna Mega Evolve. I don't know why I calced in. I thought that he could survive any attack, but I forgot about drought, so I just knew my Landorus would die. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, but he actually misses his overheat, and I'm able to set up my stealth rocks with it, which are just great. I needed these stealth rocks on the field, and so now I can switch out. I know he's gonna go for another overheat, so I'm gonna switch out into my Whimsicott. Second off my Whimsicott, because Whimsicott will not do too much in this battle, as he's gonna go for the overheat. Just gonna destroy my Whimsicott's life. There's no way a Whimsicott can survive that, especially in the sun, as he gets the harsh special attack drop. And at this point, I know this thing is nerfed from the special attack drop, so I can go out into my King Fluff and set up a Dragon Dance on this thing. And that's just what I'm gonna do as he withdraws and goes into his Lugia. Lugias are just walls. These things are walls. The Stealth Rocks do break the multi-scale. Thank you, because if this thing had multi-scale, my Altaria would do nothing. He could probably stall me out with Toxic. I know this guy said, because like I said, we do battle and you don't really run any different sets on Lugia. So I'm going to go ahead and set up that Dragon Dance. Now I'm looking fluffy and ferocious. And I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Frustration on this thing, just to see how much damage it does. It's going to get his leftovers first, and he's at a good amount of HP, but I'm going to go for Frustration. And that does so much damage to Lugia, as now he can go for a Toxic. I didn't mind him going for a Toxic, because now that I'm poisoned, I know his Giratina cannot Will-O-Wisp me. So if I switch this thing out, this thing is a complete wall to Giratina. And I'm guessing the special attacking wing is also a wall. But I'm going to go for another Frustration, take out this huge wall of a Pokemon that is Lugia without having much trouble. I mean, King Fluff is just a monster. As the sunlight does fade. As the sunlight does fade and I'm getting I'm taking that poison damage, and now he's going to go out the Dark Ride. I wanted to switch out my King Fluff, but now that this thing is in front of me, I just want to take this thing out. I don't want him putting anything to sleep. I know he can't take out my King Fluff even if it has a Sludge Bomb, I think, because King Fluff is just that bulky. So I'm going to go straight for a Frustration, take out this Dark Ride. Thank you for the Sticky Webs to slow this Dark Ride down. I wanted to get up the rocks because Dark Ride can have Focus Sash. I used to love running Focus Sash on Dark Ride. As now he's going to go back out to his Groudon. Like I said, I can't switch anybody into this Groudon, and they would just die. So I felt that the better choice would be just to go for an Earthquake and get as much damage on this thing. I thought an Earthquake will be able to kill this thing, and it knocks it so low, but it barely survives, just barely. And it knocks me out with its own Earthquake. And that just does so much damage to King Fluff. King Fluff is just down. I'm sorry, King Fluff. How does an Earthquake touch this thing? I know this thing is still in the sky. But I'm going to go out in my Landorus, as I know I can go for an Earthquake now and kill this thing. But instead, I wanted to go for a U-turn, kill this thing. I knew it'd kill it because I looked at the calcs. And yeah, so this thing is dead, and I can switch my Landorus out. I switched my Landorus out because I thought Landorus would be kind of helpful versus some other Pokemon. So I'm gonna go out into my Rayquaza, and I switched my Landorus out because I didn't want him going into his Genesect. Did he even have a Genesect? I think he had a Genesect the other battle, but he switched it out with Zekrom. Yeah, he did switch it out with Zekrom. So I didn't want this thing to still be faster than me after the Sticky Webs because it can be Choice Scarf and they just neutralize each other. So I'm actually going to go for a Extreme Speed just to get some damage off on this thing, as it goes for an Outrage and knocks my Rayquaza out. Rayquaza does not want to take an Outrage. He's just in here to do some Choice Banded damage. As now I can go out to my Landorus, get an Intimidate. I know this thing is locked in an Outrage, and this is where I wanted to do some plays. I can go for an Earthquake, but then my Landorus is in here, and I'm not sure how much Groudon can do to others. Like a Mega Charizard Y, you can get some flinches on with that. So I'm just going to U-turn out. I know it wasn't going to kill, and I'm going to go out into my Groudon, as I know -1 Zekrom's Outrage will not be able to do much to me. Sorry if y'all hear some stuff in the background. I hear you people. And I'm going to Primal Reverse into my Primal Groudon Shiny. Look at that. Look at that right there. That's nice. Just black and all. So now I am going to go ahead and set up a Rock Polish. This is the set I wanted to use. I wanted to use Rock Polish Groudon because I love Groudon's design as a shiny primal, and I wanted to get off that. I wanted to try how good a Rock Polish would be. And once it gets up a Rock Polish, even if it's adamant, it goes over 400 attack, which is beastly. And I'm just going to go for a Dragon Claw, knock this thing out, as I know that he has a Giratina and a Charizard left. I know Giratina can take my Dragon Claws very, very well because we battle again. This thing was the only thing that could take a Dragon Claw, and I know this thing is just going to Dragon Tail me out. I knew he was going to Dragon Tail me out. I just wanted to get a Dragon Claw. He Dragon Tail me out in my Landorus. I knock off, and I pretty much come back in with my Groudon and win, because he can't Dragon Tail me out since he's the only last Pokemon I can set up all over this thing. As I do Dragon Claw, I get a crit, unfortunately, and he misses a Dragon Tail. That's horrible. Horrible hacks. But this kind of did speed it up in a way. So I'm going to go for another Dragon Claw. I know it's not going to kill unless I get a second crit, but I don't get a second crit. And he's actually going to land this Dragon Tail. He's going to Dragon Tail me out right into my Landorus. That's the only person that he can Dragon Tail me out into, as my Desolate Land does wear off because he's out. And I'm just going to go for a knockoff and knock this thing off, kill it. And I know that the only person that he has left is Charizard Y, and he can't do too much to my Groudon if he doesn't get any hacks. So he's going to get some leftovers, and as I suspected, the knockoff does kill this Giratina. Giratinas are bulky as crap, but it just wasn't living that knockoff at that low of health. As now I know he can go out into his Charizard Y I can't outspeed it in any way. This thing is adamant, max HP, max attack, EVs. It has no speed behind it. And Charizard can just destroy a Landorus. So, he does take the Stealth Rocks damage, which is kind of important, just in case that a Dragon Claw does not kill it. So it's gonna go for a Flamethrower and kill my Landorus. What did I say kill? It's not gonna kill my Landorus. It's gonna knock it out. As now I can go out into my Groudon. I know I can live a Flamethrower, Solar Beam. I don't even know if Solar Beam goes off. I'm not sure if Desolate Land has the same effects as Sunny Day, but I'm pretty sure it does. I'm not sure. But he actually goes for Air Slash, and I know that's going to do a good amount of HP. And I'm just hoping for a flinch, and I don't get flinch. Thank God. Groudon's not afraid of anything. He's not going to flinch. As he goes for a Dragon Claw and kills the Charizard. And that is good game, Ethan. Thank you for the battle. If y'all like this content, go ahead, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to battle me, then follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter saying you want to battle. I'll battle you. Or just go on Pokemon Showdown. That's where I'm finding all my battles, because nobody's really hit me up on Twitter, because it's like I'm not that popular. But thanks for watching as always.